It doesn't matter where you are in life. You gotta know your worth before you can.
Yeah. All right, man. It's that time. It's Fire 5. We're going to start this thing off and go to the OG yard. Classic. El Diablo versus Baby Thor. You're looking at the Puerto Rican king right here. A true OG. El Diablo versus Baby Thor. You want to see nonstop barrages being thrown by both men? This is the fight to watch. Anybody who knows El Diablo, he puts on a performance every time, and he's the OG. Not only that, but we saw this fight end by pukage. Again, Street Beef's OG yard, El Diablo versus Baby Thor, firefight. Check it out. Let's go ahead and move on to Street Beef's West Coast. You see it. They spelled my boy's name wrong, but it's cool. Southpaw versus Sad Lee. Yeah. Those who know, know. And if you don't know, you're going to find out. This was a fire fight. I'm talking about punches and bunches. I'm talking about two men with no quit, all heart. If you know Sad Lee, you know he's a scrapper, man. He's going to bring the fight every single time. But what we saw in the newcomer, Southpaw, we saw a guy step up to the plate. You know, he got caught a little early, and then we saw him say, you know what? I'm going to approach this fight and I'm going to fight back. This is a fire fight. Street Beef's West Coast, Southpaw versus Sad Lee. Check it out. You won't be disappointed. All right, let's move on to the scrapyard. Street Beef scrapyard. Man, check this out. This is heavyweight boxing right here. Neezy Gunn versus Huey. This is what you want to see right here. Two heavyweights, a lot of power by both men. The difference is we have the seasoned vet going up against a young buck. And those who know. If you don't, you're going to find out. The seasoned vet comes out, he does what a vet does. You know, the buck, he comes out and he puts up a fight. I'm not going to lie to you. He puts up a fight. Both men had power, but one had the upper hand. That Street Beef scrapyard, Neezy Gunn versus Huey. That's a must see. Check that out. Let's go ahead and move on. All right, we're going to take it back, all the way back to the Street Beef's OG yard. This is a classic boxing match. I'm going to say it again. I'm going to say it a little slower. Classic boxing match. Hardest Stone versus Malave. Hardest Stone is one of my favorites. He's literally a legend, an OG legend. Every fight this man has been in has been a war. And this fight is no different. Malave, newcomer, but when I say this man, he came for battle. He came for battle. These men back and forth, they didn't disappoint. Every single round, combinations, technique, power. Yeah, man, this has everything that you want in a firefight. Street Beef's OG yard, Hardest Stone versus Malave. Check it out. Now we're going to take it all the way back to Street Beef Scrapyard. Noodle Knocker versus Slim Gotti. I mean, shit, the fighter names alone makes you want to click on this fight. A little backstory on this fight. These two men had already had an MMA match. It went a certain way. And I'm going to go ahead and say, check out their first bout. That's Noodle Knocker versus Slim Gotti. That's the MMA match. Check the first fight out. Afterward, check out the rematch. These men chose to have a rematch, and the rematch was in boxing. High energy, back and forth, very competitive. And what we saw in this fight was we saw almost the opposite of what we got in the first match. You know, the first match was one and done. The second match went the distance. Again, Street Beef Scrapyard, Noodle Knocker versus Slim Gotti. Check out both of those matches. The original match in MMA and the rematch in boxing. Somké and the Fire 5.